Sometimes in life, you find yourself on the right side of the line.
We got a trio of threes talking about a four.
Just because it's called a stereotype doesn't make it a lie. You can put that on my greatness statue, that quote right there.
A member of the Global Ag Network.
America. Well, now, Ashton, they didn't get in the back seat of your pickup because I think I can still hear something.
No, they did not.
Okay, good. Maybe that's just Landon's. Whoever's behind that curtain behind Landon. Well, guys, this
whoever's
whoever what
putting whoever captured Landon and is putting a gun to his head and telling him what to say.
Yeah, I mean, I keep telling him. Well, I tell him to shake his hair or something on his head, but that ain't gonna happen. So, let us know if he's in trouble or not. Well, guys,
that's the case. I just hope they pull the trigger.
Can I please do my intro?
Sorry.
Oh, wait, I can play one of Ashton's voice drops she did, but I'll add that in post-production. Guys, this is the Dryland Farmer Podcast, and we've got the whole panel. I think this is the permanent panel now. We've got Casey. We've got Casey. I want to say Conrad, but that's another guy that I know. This is Casey Seymour, and he's up in Nebraska, and we'll find out what his state is best at. And Landon's in Hereford, Texas. We all know what that's all about. And then we've got, of course, the lovely, the great Ashton Carr down in the Hub City, sitting in her pickup. What are you on, about 34th Street, Ashton?
I'm actually on 45th.
Pretty damn close. 45th. Are you east? Are you east of Avenue Q?
I'm west of Avenue Q.
Oh, that's a relief. Okay, that's a little safer for you. Well, so guys, we're kind of covering multiple states. We're covering multiple time zones in the Dryland Farmer Podcast. But we're great and happy to be back here. We've got everybody here, like I said, and so this week we're covering a article I ran across, and they listed what each state is best at, and it's not necessarily what you would think a state would like to be known for. I mean, these are all really, positive things to be proud of, but they're really not something you really want to ride home about. So we're going to cover that on this great episode of the Dryland Farmer Podcast. Casey, what's been going on in tell us about the happenings in the aerial industry, the aviation industry in Scottsbluff, Nebraska?
A crop duster trying to take out a power line pole, and he managed to do that pretty well, and he took down 10 or 12 poles or something like that, and crashed into a semi as it was driving down the road. So it was a good day. Knocked the power out of town for a little while. I think everybody's fine. The pilot walked away all right. The truck driver, I guess, got hurt worse than anybody else.
Jeez.
That sounds like a scene out of North by Northwest.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So,
did he hit every pole on the way down?
Well, I think he just hit the wires, and then as the wires were getting taut, they ripped about 10 of them out of the ground, I guess. So power out for 4 hours.
So did he clip the trailer or what did he hit?
I think he hit the cab.
Damn.
Guy was just driving by. If he'd have just waited 2 minutes to leave wherever he left this morning, he'd have totally been fine. But
or seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow. What was he drifting on somebody's soybeans? Is that what he's doing or what?
No, we don't have soybeans out here.
Oh, no soybeans. Just that's right.
No.
Y'all are like us.
Edible beans, probably.
Edible beans.
I would get corn, maybe something.
Spraying that second.
18 wheels and a dozen stitches.
Oh, hey, he's here all week. Oh, that real sensitive there, Landon. And they probably listed him as COVID positive too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone's got COVID.
Casey said everybody lived.
Everybody lived, but you still get a COVID case out of it no matter what.
Everybody lived. I can quote Kathy Mattea.
Oh God, Kathy Mattea. There's a pool you hadn't heard in a long time. That's a great.
Waiting for the guys from South Park to come out with the, in Team America, that song "Everyone's Got AIDS." Everyone's got COVID. That one.
I still can't forget the song America. Oh, Ashton, have you seen Team America World Police?
I have not.
That's probably you're probably a little too classy for that kind of movie. It's there's puppets that have intercourse and they puke on it. It's a whole thing, Ashton. It's a whole.
Yeah.
It's from the creators of South
funny,
Park.
though.
If that oh, it's funny. There's no question. It's
you'll
funny.
never die.
Oh man, it's a quality flick. So so Landon, what's been going on? I went to Hereford Grain today and got my dividend check, and man, are my arms sore because that was a heavy check, man. It was great.
Yeah, we try to take care of you.
Yeah, it's a dividend time. Of course, normally we would have the Danny's Fins and Hens. Now, Ashton, have you ever partaken of Fins and Hens?
I don't believe I have.
They're based out of Lubbock. They're the go-to caterer for all co-op annual meetings. You know what I'm talking about, where they have it in like the Bull Barn or the any type of building that was built before the Civil War, and they still have annual meetings there for all the co-op members, and they get their $37 dividend check from the phone board or whatever. You've never been? Yeah, I'm sure you've been to some kind of rural co-op meeting, haven't you, Ashton?
No, I haven't actually.
It's pretty off the hook. It goes well into the late hours of 8:30 in the evening.
Wow, pretty late for you guys, huh?
Yeah, used to at our annual REC meeting, they would have a Landon, what would you call it? It wasn't like a Statler Brothers like cover band or something. They always had some kind of gospel / I don't know.
Like the Gaither brothers.
The Gaither. They were like the Oak Ridge Boys, but without the good looks.
Yeah,
is kind of what they were. So that's Casey. Y'all got to have them up there.
What's that?
The co-op annual
Gaither
meetings.
Brothers?
Well, yeah, that too.
I've never been to one.
You know what I'm talking about, though. The old rural electric cooperative, or the Scottsbluff farmers co-op, or we used to have a consumers co-op where basically they were mostly fuel. But it's a hoot and a half, man. It's a hoot and a half. Exactly right. Landon just put on his sombrero, and
got some cool stuff back here.
I don't know why. Why do you have that? Well, Landon's wearing a sombrero. That's
Looks
about
like
what
a Hasidic Jew.
I'm one of the three amigos here. No, I was just saying that. My wife's got that hanging on the wall. I don't know where she found it.
Maybe no, that's Sikh. He's a Sikh, and he's Casey.
Oh, yeah, Sikh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ashton. Now, Ashton, give us a lowdown on the young people here going back to college. What's the atmosphere like? Are the bars opening back up? What's going on?
There's been a few bars that are opening back up, but they have like food there as well, so it's not like the full bar atmosphere, I guess. But things are slowly starting to open back up. I'm a little bit nervous now that all these kids are coming back into town, but from what it sounds like, things are looking up, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. So they've been to the Blue Light. Have they opened back up, or the library?
Yeah, Blue Light actually opened up last weekend. They're at like 50% capacity. It's BYOB. But yeah, they opened up last week, and I guess it went well for them because they're going to have another show on Thursday.
Very nice. Is it going to be 50 Cent?
I wish. I would be there in a heartbeat.
Oh, man. Wouldn't we all? Everybody wants to see somebody that's gotten shot 47 times. It probably looks like that crop duster that hit 12 poles in a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good possibility.
It's a good possibility. Well, Casey sounds extremely excited to be on the podcast, so I guess we're going to go ahead and move into our
main segment.
Object to the tits. But anyway, so we're going to get into this. We'll be right back after this message from... This is our first ever on-site, on-location reporter. We've got Tom Tinseth in this break. He's going to give us his latest weather observations. And he just did it on his own. He wasn't even asked. But hey, it worked. It's going on the internet. He's already got it on the internet. And now it's on the Dryline Farmer Podcast. Take it away, Tom.
You've seen him everywhere. You've seen him nowhere. It's Tom, the Tank Man Tinseth. Always here with your most trusted and your most reliable weather resource. Tom, the Tank Man Tinseth is here to give all of your latest weather-breaking stories even though he wasn't even asked for it. But here he is, Tom the Tank Man Tenzin!
This is Tom Tenzin, field reporter for the Dryline Farmer Podcast. Here I am, south of Dumas, and look at what we got outside, guys. It's rain.
Join us next week with another forecast from Tom the Tank Man Tenzin, only on the Dryline Farmer Podcast.
And while we were in the break, Lennon greatly appreciate his reminder of our newest, and I haven't told him that he's our newest correspondent yet, but Tom Tenzin has taken it upon himself to do these remote forecasts and weather, observations. So we're real excited to have Tom on the team. He's going to get paid just as much as I am, and Landon, and Ashton, and Casey. So he's on the payroll there. We're really excited to have him. We're going to try to. He had a weather, I guess it was an observation or remote broadcast from, I don't know if it was from his home and wherever the hell he's from, the Metroplex. But I'm glad Landon mentioned that. So we're going to have to get him on the podcast sometime and really get his thoughts on life in general and maybe even some weather. So thanks, Tom. We'll get you in here. And without further ado, let's get into America the Beautiful on the Dryline Farmer Podcast. All right, y'all can't hear that, but I got the national anthem playing in the background here, and I know. Well, I mean, I tell you what, I'm just on fire tonight. I'm getting laughs from the back seats over there.
You came out firing, man.
I came out firing. Well, why don't we go ahead and get to the material, since apparently I can't make any improvisational material up as anyway. So, we're just going to go down the alphabetical list. Now, this is from Thrillist.com, or maybe Thrill List. There's only two L's, but we're going to call it Thrillist.com. And so we're just going to kind of go down alphabetical, and I'll start off here. Y'all just chime in anything that strikes your fancy, or y'all have a comment on this. So we've got Alabama. Now, Alabama's obviously the first because they got the most concealed carry licenses in the country. I don't know. So they have a little subquote here, and it says, if everybody in Alabama lived by the motto, sun's out, guns out, you'd be led to believe the sun practically never shines in the heart of Dixie. That's Texas Tech. Thank you very much. Yeah, you probably have your concealed, don't you, Ashton?
I don't, but I do want to get it.
It's a whole process. You have to aim at a target. Landon, what do you have to aim at a target like 5 feet from your face?
Yeah, you start out like 9 feet away.
Yeah,
and it gets all the way to like 25 feet away,
which is a pretty good bonus. So did I give you a slingshot from like a foot away or something? Or I mean, is it just your like 9mm, or what do you got going?
They give you a pocket knife.
Oh, you're throwing knives now. Now, Casey, I'm sure you probably got yours. You're a gun.
No, I know. I had it for a while. I got it for the novelty when it first happened when I lived in Kansas.
And then that first felony.
Then after you killed those guys.
Yeah. It kind of got to the point where you couldn't take it anywhere. So I didn't quite understand the point of having it. So I kind of let it lapse.
Only criminals are allowed with guns in here. Nobody with a concealed permit. Yeah. So.
Now in Kansas, they wrote it into the Constitution that you can. Carry.
Oklahoma.
That makes a lot of.
Oklahoma's got open carry. Yeah, I don't even think you have to have
a permit. Same way. I don't. I kind of have the. I'm a full supporter of concealed carry and everything, but I think there's should be a level of training that you have to go through. Not some. I wouldn't quite put that as a constitutional right.
You mean
Oklahoma, you get in trouble if you don't have a gun on you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
You mean Grandpappy taking you out bear hunting isn't enough training?
No, I think you might need to go through some,
some official
actual
training with a handgun. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So that's not moving on. We got Alaska now. They've got the most pilots per capita. Now that's what I don't know how you're best at having the most pilots per capita. I mean, isn't that like the only way to travel across Alaska is in an airplane, like a single engine airplane? Isn't that?
It does have its benefits.
Yeah. I mean, when the state. Go ahead.
You either have those little planes or a dog sled. I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah. I mean, you're either getting there in an hour or you're getting in there in a month. So and that's if all the dogs make it. I'm sure. I don't know if they have a spare dog or not, but they do have spare planes laying around. So that's kind of that's kind of like saying New York's known for having the most subways. Well, yeah, it's the biggest city in the country, I would think so, and they all live on top of each other, even though they're all moving away. So Arizona, I don't know. I'm thinking Texas is almost going to be the sunniest state, but Arizona is best at being the sunniest state, and mainly because they don't observe daylight savings, which kind of goes against the whole thing of being the sunniest state, since they're having less daytime during working hours. So I don't really get that. But I've flown over Arizona many times going to Vegas, but that's about the only time I've ever been in Arizona. No, we landed in there in Phoenix one time, but it was not very sunny because it was 5 a.m. So yeah, great times. So now we're getting into the south over here in the south. Now Arkansas. Now before y'all look, what do you think Arkansas would be the best at? I mean, if you've already looked, you probably weren't going to think what the article says, but what would y'all have thought Arkansas would be the best at?
Entertainment marriages.
Most cousins.
See, I would think you would have the fewest amount of cousins because you're already married to them.
That's what I just said. Cousin siblings.
Cousin siblings. Yeah. I didn't hear that part. Yeah, that's probably true. And of course, that's stereotypical. And the reason it's just like I said, Ashton, just because it's a stereotype doesn't make it not true.
Those are some great words to live by.
It's something, a mantra everybody needs to live by. So, but no, this says Arkansas has the most dog owners. This says 47% of households in Arkansas owned a dog in 2011. That's right. Bill Clinton is not the only dog from Arkansas. Hey-o! They really work.
Because it's your dog.
Because it's your dog. Oh, no, we get it. So, okay, California. Most breastfed babies. Do y'all believe this? Would y'all agree with this? Or, I mean, a lot of the racks over in California are, not necessarily all natural.
It might be the most breastfed babies, but it's not probably by the moms. They probably hired somebody.
You're saying there's some they got some wet nurses in California still?
They got some surrogate feeders.
They get those cows. It's just like a dairy. They just pull those babies off the cows, man, and then they just work them over. Most breastfed babies is probably tastes a little rubbery over there, but I don't know. I haven't been to California but one time, and that was probably enough. So Colorado. Now Colorado, you would probably think, okay, they're probably the best at getting high, maybe, or going down a mountain really fast.
That's what she said.
They're either going up or going down, and they're really good at it. So, but no, this article says they are the least obese. Now I can get with this because we just got back from Colorado a couple weeks ago, and everybody's walking there. You don't see any fat, like really obese people in the mountains.
This is crap, Brent. That whole state has the munchies.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that because the quote in this state says, "But just give it a few more years of having legalized pot, and the 2018 version of this list will be." Oh, this is very old. The list will be the greatest Funyuns consumption state, which Funyuns are probably disgusting up there with olives and tomatoes because.
I love Funyuns. They're the best.
God, don't eat it on a first date is all I can say. So we're getting up here now. We're in New England. We've got Connecticut, Delaware. Now Connecticut's got the most twin births. Delaware is the most moderate. Isn't that where the a-hole Joe Biden's from? Isn't he from Delaware?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not the most moderate. Yeah.
Well,
so
he's not even the captain of his party. So
no.
I think AOC forgot that Bernie Sanders lost the nomination last night. So
Yeah, that was pretty sweet that Bo Bernie was getting nominated by AOC. Boy, I bet I'm surprised she didn't not wake up this morning.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't accidentally commit suicide. That was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
So, but Connecticut, the most twin births. It said nearly 5% of births in Connecticut are twins, which almost explains how the Winklevoss twins were involved in the creation of Facebook, but not quite. Boy, those guys did get kind of screwed. So now Florida. Now Florida's known for a whole lot of things, and most of them aren't positive. But
usually they're known for making all the rest of the states look good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should have been. I don't know where they got this survey from, but they should have gone to Landon's house. So Florida, they have the most 4-year-olds in preschool. I'm surprised this doesn't say they have the most 9-year-olds in preschool in Florida, because I've been to Florida just in the airport, and I wanted to go take an English class. So this says this state is famous for its old people, but Florida still makes early childhood education a priority, with 78.5% of the state's 4-year-olds enrolled in preschool. Well, that's just because it's so hot outside.
So, I'm surprised there's not the most 4-year-olds enrolled in a wrestling school.
or most 4-year-olds abused by wicked stage mothers. Oh, yeah, let's see. Okay, now, just going north a little bit, we've got Georgia. Now, Georgia is known as the top peanut producer. That's really something like... So, Ashton, if a guy from Georgia came over to Texas Tech, would that be a really good pickup line to say, hey, man, hey, baby, I came from Georgia. We're the top peanut producers. Would that really strike your fancy, or what would that do for you?
You know, I really don't think it would. And one of my friends is from Georgia that goes out here, and he was like a big goat guy, and that still just didn't do it for anyone, I don't think.
Goats isn't an aphrodisiac?
I don't think for me personally, no.
I mean, it takes a special gal to really have a shepherd turn her screws, man. I tell you what.
I like how these are all funny until this one. And it's just like, oh, here's just an actual fact.
Yeah. Okay, so now Hawaii. Now this is kind of a no shit deal, but they're the least likely to collide with the deer.
That's not true.
It's not true?
No, there's an axis deer. Axis deer in Hawaii are a real problem.
Axis deer.
Yeah.
Axis deer. Ones like Bambi, Brent.
Bambi was kind of
a little dog
bitch anyway, wasn't she?
Axis deer.
So axis deer. So that's kind of like saying Arizona would be known for least likely to collide with a fish. I mean, come on, that's really not a really hard stretch to get to. Is that the best thing you could come up with for Hawaii? Least likely. How about the sunniest state, or maybe summer all year long, or maybe beaches?
Arizona already got the sunniest.
I know. They should have had it.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh yeah, Dog the the state most likely to collide with Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife's chest.
most likely to get your ass beat by a suntanned middle-aged white.
By a suntanned hobo. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting back over here on the mainland. We've got Idaho. Now, Casey, let's see. Now you're not. How close is Nebraska? Oh no, you're not too far. You're a Wyoming away from Idaho. So
it's a ways.
It's a ways. And when we get down to Wyoming, it'll be the last state here, but it's a really good state to go across and have a one night stand if you really want to. But we're here in Idaho, and Idaho. I just went to Wyoming and didn't get civil. Idahoans have the cheapest groceries. That's probably because all they do is eat tree bark and like pine needles or something. Isn't that all they have up there? Well, I guess they have potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah,
Idaho potatoes.
Idaho potatoes. So, but they've also got dairies because they've moved down here to the Texas Panhandle. So, Casey, what is the cheapest grocery, Casey, that will go the furthest?
And
probably ramen noodles, man.
Yeah, I would say that goes to the top pretty quick. Case, Landon. Now, let me go to Ashton. Ashton, now you're in college.
Right,
you're in that cheap food thing. Now, what's the big is there a popular cheap food right now?
I would say like minute mashed potatoes might be a good one.
Minute mashed. Well, he's like powdered donuts. That sounds good right now. Powdered.
Yeah,
powdered
like
potatoes?
powdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a meal ready to eat, like the MREs for the military. Casey, you're all big into the lifting weights. Do you eat those MREs like it's a piece of jerky that looks like a wallet or something that you eat while you're lifting like a transmission?
No, because that would be. I don't think that'd go down very well.
That's what she said. Okay. So
when you go to the gym, do you carry the gallon jug of water around? Are you that guy?
I set off the lunk alarm.
He's got, does it have, is it the milk jug and it's got the graduated lines on it, like you have to do this by, you have to drink a half a gallon by 1 o'clock or you have to kick your own ass?
That's true. You gotta get some.
Oh man. Okay, now Illinois. Now obviously they've got to be the best at murder. You would think so.
I'm damn sure that.
Local government. Yeah, I would say that they have the most case of homicide would be a pretty safe bet.
But ironically enough, it says the most units of local government. Now, of course, this article is it's not current, but it still works for our purposes. But the quote here says, somehow the land of Lincoln has more recently been bad as Blagojevich, who hasn't heard that name in a long time, at one point seeing 4 of its previous 7 governors land in jail. But that may be explained by having so many units of local government, since nobody can remember who does what anymore. Yeah, I know what they do. They go to jail. So, okay, yeah, I would say that's probably an incorrect one. They're the best at killing each other. So
let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
More government doesn't make you safer?
I guess not. That's what it's. I mean, basically, that's what our statistics are telling us right here. So it's an ironic statistic that we run across. So now we're getting into the party states. We're getting into Indiana. Now Indiana is known for like nothing. I guess they got that circle track that everybody likes to see. When's the Indianapolis 500? It's not. That's Daytona's in February. Is that when's the Indy 500? Anybody know?
I think it's right around the same time as Daytona. I think.
Okay, I kind of thought it was kind of later winter time, but I didn't know. So, but no, Indiana, which I guess kind of goes with the Indianapolis 500. They have the most licensed drivers. Well, I can tell you which state has the least licensed drivers, and it's a little south of Indiana. But if you're going to be stuck on the side of the road hitchhiking, well, Indiana's a pretty good spot for you to end up. I don't know why. I guess unlicensed. I guess so. They're stereotyping unlicensed drivers. They won't pick up hitchhikers. Case Landon, you're unlicensed, aren't you? You pick them up all the time, don't you?
Always.
Yeah, but you've got to have your concealed carry to do that. Otherwise, I would not.
Sure. Otherwise, you can't get them.
Isn't Idaho now? Back to Idaho. Isn't that where they filmed?
There's some hitchhikers. Pick them up.
Pick them up. Fuck yeah. See.
Who needs a radio?
See. Back to Idaho. Isn't that where they filmed Napoleon Dynamite? Right. I know that's where it was based at.
Yeah. Yeah, it
was.
Yeah. Because the bus is called Idago.
Idago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, that's just an insult to you, me, and the entire Gym State.
Gym State, yeah. All right, licensed drivers. We're gonna move back to the west a little bit. We're gonna go into the corn state. We're going to Iowa. Now they've got the lowest divorce rate. Iowa is like, this is quoting here, Iowa is like the Ireland of the United States. Apparently they're all drunks and have bad temper. No, that's not what it says. Iowans are most likely to stay married for better or worse. So you think they have the lowest divorce rate but the highest abuse rate?
Probably for worse.
Yeah. Not surprisingly, the state with the highest divorce rate and marriage rate was Nevada, due in no small part to the number of Elvis-officiated nuptials. Ashton, whenever you get married, are you going to have Elvis at your wedding?
That's a really good question, and I think I'm just going to elope and add to that marriage rate in Nevada.
Just the marriage rate, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't. I'll wait and get divorced, like back here in Texas or something.
So, okay, here's a question. If Elvis is like the most popular, I guess, Elvis impersonators, if he's the most popular person to give marriages out, what do you think would be a proper impersonator to perform like a divorce proceeding? Because, I mean, you've got Elvis. He's all shook up. I mean, now was he married? He was just married to Priscilla? Is that it?
I think that's right.
Just the one marriage?
He was married. Man, I don't know.
I mean, you've got Johnny Cash. Now, he screwed Reese Witherspoon. I mean, June Carter.
Right.
So they got divorced. Who's been married a bunch of times as a singer? Glenn Campbell? No.
Cher.
Cher?
Sonny, Cher.
Yeah, Sonny and Cher. Madonna. I think a Madonna impersonator. Even though she sings like a virgin, she's probably the least virgin person that ever walked the face of the earth. So I'm going to go with Madonna. Y'all don't have to agree with me, but I'm going to go with Madonna on the like your divorce mediator. Any thoughts, Ashton?
I was kind of thinking of O.J. Simpson.
I just want to divorce her. I don't want to cut her head off.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying that you run the risk of that.
We're gonna cut it loose right here.
Okay,
Just
guys.
get right to the point.
Just get right. I mean, let's just go for the throat. Sorry, bad choice of words. Okay, so now we're moving over to Kansas. Now, Kansas is obviously known for wheat and Ferguson. Or is that in St. Louis? I guess that's St. Louis, Missouri. That was in St. Louis. That wasn't Kansas City. Okay, Kansas has the most teenage volunteers. Now, why do you think that might be? Why would Kansas have the most teenage volunteers?
I would say because they're appointed by the court, would be my guess.
Yeah. Well, that's just because you're reading forward. And if you came up with that by yourself, I tip my hat to you, sir. But yes, this says maybe the youth of Kansas truly want to change the world, or maybe court orders say they have to. Casey, have you ever had a court order to pick up litter on the side of the highway?
I've had a lot of court orders, so I mean,
restraining orders or like
just I ran the gamut. So it's
or run the gamut.
O.J. Simpson divorces.
Yeah, yeah. Really the best divorce mediators were Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn on Wedding Crashers, but I'm thinking they were fake. But so now we're going over to Kentucky. Now Kentucky, you read the first part of this statistic and you're like, no way. And then you read the second part of the statistic and you're like, okay, it makes sense. Because the first part says it has the highest graduation rate, okay? But you're like, nah, I don't think so. But then it says for economically disadvantaged students. So, okay, yeah. One goes with the other, I guess, when it comes to a success rate of graduating people from the mountains. But Casey, or have any of y'all been to the backwoods of Kentucky, Tennessee, or West Virginia?
I have.
You have?
Yep.
And was there a lot of Mountain Dew?
There was a lot of something, that's for sure. And it was
and it wasn't tea?
The crazy thing about that is when you hear the wind blow, you do hear a banjo in the background. That's no joke.
You sure do got a pretty mouth, boy.
Make you squeal, boy.
You gotta paddle faster.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Ashton? You seen Deliverance?
I haven't, no.
Oh man, that's a class.
We need to have a movie night with you.
We're gonna have to. I mean, it's not really a chick flick per se.
Not a good first date movie by any.
It's not. It's not a good first date movie.
I mean, I have a running list of things that you guys have told me to watch, so I'll just add that one.
Hey, we're looking out for you. I mean, these young impressionable college girls. We're looking out for you because we've been there. Casey was a young impressionable college girl at one point. And Landon was chasing them and trying to impress the impressionable young college girls when he was in college. So, and I never got dates with him. So,
been there, done that.
got the T-shirt and married the chick. So, yeah, I hope you're taking notes, Ashton, because if you're not, I don't know what you're doing here. So, it's a rough world out there. So, moving forward, we got Louisiana here. Now, I've been to New Orleans, and I don't have to go back necessarily Because even when I was a college kid and I went to Bourbon Street, I thought it was kind of nappy and nasty. Because we got there the week, it was spring break. We went there our senior year of college at Tech. And we got there the week after Mardi Gras. And we stayed right off of Canal Street, which intersects Bourbon Street. And when we turned the corner to go to Bourbon Street, I almost gagged literally because of the vomit they were washing off the sidewalks and the gutters with the literal puke washer truck going down the street. It was legit nasty. Any comments?
Yeah, don't people...
like that. Go ahead, Ashton. Sorry.
You add to that what they're cleaning up?
Anytime I went to the South, whether it's clear down there in Louisiana or anywhere, I get why people get so fired up in the South. I mean, you have to be from there, like genetically have to be from there in order to be able to handle humidity. You know what I mean? Like you have to have like 4 generations of genetic adaptation to the humidity to be able to make it work. Because holy crap, dude! I feel like I got to cut a hole in the air before I can walk through it.
Oh man. Well, we'll see. We went there during spring break, so that was March. So it was really nice. It was still pretty, warm even in the evenings. But yeah, I would imagine it's like walking through like hot soup or something like that. So you were there obviously in the summertime.
We were on our way someplace. I think we were going to Florida. But anyway, we stopped through there, and it was you couldn't. All the windows would fog up,
right?
No matter how whether it's just a crazy thing. In there.
Yeah, it's a rough place to live. Ashton, have you been down to New Orleans?
I haven't been to New Orleans. I've been to a couple of other places in Louisiana, unfortunately, but never New Orleans.
Unfortunately. Well, the first time we went to Louisiana, it was also in college. We went to Baton Rouge. Now and we stayed. It was for a fraternity thing, and we went, and that's where what's in Baton Rouge? Oh, LSU. And I mean, if I didn't go to Texas Tech, I might have gone to LSU if I would have known about how cool it looked, and I mean the people were pretty cool and everything, and I was just really impressed. They were pretty.
Just found out where dreams come to die.
I guess that. But yeah, I was very impressed with LSU. So, but that's neither here nor there. So, did I even say what they're the most residents born in state? So Casey just basically said what the statistic says: 79% of Louisiana residents were born in the state. Compared to that to Nevada, where only 25% of the residents were born in the state. The lesson: nobody ever walks away from crawdads, and if they do, they get shot before they hit the Texas border. Okay, now we're going way up to the opposite side of the country. We're getting up into Maine. Now, you would think they were the best at having all Stephen King movies based on the setting of the state of Maine, but no, it's not. They have the least violent crime. And obviously, I didn't look ahead, but it says, forget the plot of every Stephen King novel you've ever read. Maine is actually just full of a bunch of upstanding citizens, not killer clowns, zombie pets, or entire towns turning into vampires. They always vote blue every 4 years, so yes, there's a few clowns, zombie pets, and vampires up there. But that's just me. Why do you think is it just too cold to like steal go steal a Volkswagen up there? Or?
Too busy.
Too busy.
Honestly, Maine is like a northern Florida when it comes to. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, it's a very rural area that has some redneck tendencies to it, and I'm sure it's a blue state for sure, but I think they really enjoy their property right and gun right.
I'm pulling up the electoral college map by county. And I'm going to see, because it may be like Casey says, and it might be like California, where you think California is super, super liberal, and they are. But I am looking... Oh, no, go back. So I'm looking at this... Oh, no, let me go back here. Okay, so I'm looking at this page here, and believe it or not, most all of Maine is a shade of red. I mean, that is pretty impressive here. Let me see if I can get... Oh. Just dropped my microphone there. Well, this has it grayed out. Thanks a lot for graying out the exact deal I've got to Let me see if I can pull up another one here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, most all of Maine, except for the coast, is red. So now, Casey, have you ever actually been up there?
Yeah, I went to Maine once. That's kind of a cool place.
So I'm gonna say, let's see. Oh, well, these links suck. So yeah, pretty much if it's not touching water, it's red, except for the very most eastern county. The rest of Maine is red. All of Vermont is blue. A good part of actually most of New Hampshire is about half and half. But I would say 90% of the land area in New York State is red. So, Casey, what part of Maine did you go? Was it the woods or what was it?
No, I went on the coast, like Kennebunkport and kind of up in that area.
I see.
Right around there.
Saw any bushes?
No. How many people live in California? It's like 60 million or something like that.
Oh, is it 60? I thought it was like 50 something, but you may be right.
But if you think about it, between San Francisco, LA, and San Diego, those three, those make up about 50 million people as a population.
Yeah.
The rest of the state.
So actually, I mean, as a percentage of land area of the state, I would say probably 80% of Maine is red, but you go over to California and it's actually probably getting 50-50. It's blue's kind of crept a little more back to Southern California, back to the west, back to the east. But
all the red is leaving and going to Texas.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, and they're not very red.
Did you hear about that law they're trying to pass in California that if you live there, they can retro for the next 10 years, they can get your income tax. Even if you don't live there anymore?
Yeah. That's really going to keep people there. Way to go, Gavin Newsom. So, but hey, he married Catherine, old Guilfoyle for a little while. So
what's the next state?
Huh?
What's the next state?
Oh, are we getting behind here, Landon? Okay, so that was. Let me get back over here. So what was that? That was Maine. We'll start getting through here pretty quick. Maryland has the fewest accidental deaths. Deaths. I accidentally went and borrowed $1 million last week. Then I accidentally killed myself. So Maryland's got the fewest accidental deaths. Massachusetts, fewest traffic fatalities. Now Michigan. This is something to really hang your hat on because they have the most lighthouses. That's really something. When who does the Go to Michigan commercials? Jeff Daniels. Come to Michigan. You can go up in the top of a building and there's a light rotating. That is really what we are known for.
So what do they have, like 9?
Yeah, I mean, they've got Lake Michigan.
How many lighthouses are there in the world?
Yeah, like 12, and Michigan's got 9 of them. Yeah, so we've got GPS now. We don't need lighthouses. So, okay, now moving forward, Minnesota, they've got the most food cooperatives. Now, Landon, you can probably put your 2 cents in here. Most food cooperatives per capita.
I do like food.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the cooperative part, but
I know.
Okay, Mississippi, most sleep per night. Missouri has the best trails. Montana, the longest cat lifespans. Ashton, are you a cat girl or a dog girl?
I'm a dog person.
Dog person. That's what I like to hear. So,
go ahead. Wonder how many crazy cat ladies are going to be moving to Montana after they get.
I guess
they're
that
probably talking about mountain lions.
God, how many Angelas would be living up there right now? Okay, now we've gotten to our next one, and I'm going to let Casey go ahead and take this one over. Casey, you take it off with your home state here. Well, not your home state.
My home state's
the state you're in right now is what I mean.
All right, Nebraska. Nebraska has the most houses with indoor plumbing.
So, can you verify that, Casey? Go flush your toilet real
Well,
quick.
we got an outhouse inside, so I mean, I guess if that counts.
Does it have like the quarter moon on the door?
Yeah, quarter moon on the door, hay and everything. It's awesome.
Hay?
Yeah. Got the hay down the hole. You know what I mean?
Oh, what are you doing?
Got God's thumbnail on the door.
What are you pushing a brick out and then you're making a brick with it later, or what's with the hay? I've never heard of the hay. I guess
you put the hay down into the outhouse, and that's like the collector.
Casey's literally shitting bricks up there in Nebraska.
Some days, yes, it's very true.
I didn't know.
No wonder you weren't ready Paper shortage.
I figured the hay would like be the anti-splash mechanism or whatever.
Well, it's not as cool as a porta potty. You know what I mean? You got
We can't all live in the 21st century, so yeah.
no.
Just for a certain aspect of history, my dad, which he's 72, and they didn't have indoor plumbing, and this was in Texas. They didn't have indoor plumbing until he was like in the 5th grade, and that's saying something, because even then most everybody had indoor plumbing at that point, but he didn't have it till he was like, so that would make him about what, 10 or 11, and they lived in they were poor as hell, and they had the outhouse 10 feet from the house, and it was pretty legit poor stuff. But Casey, now I would say do y'all have a pretty high percentage of trailer houses?
Not really, shockingly enough. I mean, we do have, every town's got a trailer house, right? But it's not like the vast swath of trailer houses that you normally kind of see. The biggest reason for that is that's why we don't have very many tornadoes up here.
But yeah, I was fixing to say y'all must not have very many tornadoes.
No, we just every town's got like one row of trailer houses, what have you, but
one park.
Yeah.
Now, Ashton, I know trailer houses are pretty common among college students. Now, what's the I don't know if you know, but what was Landon, do you remember what was that trailer park they called? Was it something Palace over there, like on the west side of the city?
Man, I don't know.
It was something Palace. It wasn't Trailer Palace. It was some
Paradise Palace.
Palace Paradise or something. Do you have
propane?
Well, now Ashton, she just has friends that get new houses when they go to college, right?
Yeah, I actually don't know of anyone that has a trailer house out here, but I do know there's one called Camelot. That's right over by my house, so they are coming up with really creative names.
Yeah, they do try to dress up those trailer parks. It's
Combined CX Caliber.
Yeah. Well, there's
I think you're talking about Commander's Palace.
Commander's Palace, that's it. Very good. I
like Camelot better because we're all equal.
So there used to be this is before they started building the freeway, but they had Shangri-La apartments right there back right north of 4th Street in Indiana. And there's a guy in our fraternity. He had an apartment in that complex, and it was if y'all know the history of Shangri-La, it's like heaven for China or whatever Chinese religion, but it was no Shangri-La, to say the least. So okay, now we're moving forward. Let's see, how far are we getting into this episode? This might have to be a 2-parter. I don't know. No, we're doing good. Okay, now we're out of Nebraska. We're out of the greatest state of plumbing. We're going to Nevada. They've got the most hot springs. Really? That's what you're going to say Nevada's the best at when you've got Reno 911 and you've got Las Vegas. You could come up with...
mines.
Huh?
Copper mines.
Yeah, you could... I mean, the most hot spring... I didn't even think they had water in Nevada except the Bellagio. So, but as the article says, most people associate Nevada with Las Vegas and its man-made wonders. But its hot springs are the perfect way to relax after you spend an hour at the Spearmint Rhino or watching the thunder from down under. The Spearmint Rhino, I cannot confirm or deny that I've been there for a bachelor party, but it was pretty legit.
There's a strip club in Kiev, Ukraine called the Spearmint Rhino.
Well, it must be a chain because that's what it is.
And it's great. Not that I've been there, but it's great.
How do they say it? The Spearmint Rhino? How do they say it?
They're like, you don't know what they're saying. That's the bad part.
They probably say, huh?
They just smile and kind of motion at you.
I feel isn't all Russian or Ukrainian? It's just yelling. Isn't that all the language is?
You would swear to God that they're getting ready to get in a fight, and then they give each other a hug and high five, and they walk off.
It's like us saying "Let us pray," and they're yelling at each other the same way. So.
You get all fired up and like banging their hands on the. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy.
No, I'm very happy.
I am so happy to see you right now.
I could kill you.
Literally.
So now New Hampshire, they have the fewest poor people. They're probably the best state at nobody caring about it. That's probably the best thing they're known for. New Jersey, the least smokeless tobacco usage. Now, Casey, are you a dipper?
I was.
You were a
One
dipper.
time.
Okay. Ashton, that's probably not a big turn on.
No, definitely not.
It's the first time I ever saw a girl dipping was actually in Washington D.C. we were at a nightclub, and of course she also had the man wranglers on and like the Stetson hat. I mean, she was pretty legit, but she was freaking dipping that. I think it was Copenhagen too, man. She wasn't too shiny. But moving forward, we got New Mexico. Now this says they're the best at electing presidents. I would say they're the worst at electing presidents because
what president came from there?
Yeah, no, they're just good at throwing the electoral college.
Oh, I'm tracking.
And so
because they're 2.5 point electoral votes are really
2.5. So like I said, we went to Durango a couple weeks ago, and you go through New Mexico to get there from here. And I always thought Eastern New Mexico, you had to be extremely tough to live there until I got to Western New Mexico and got on the other side of the mountains. And yeah, that is completely desert. I mean, this is all a lot of reservation land. And I mean, you talk about them knowing how to give them the crappiest land that they could find and putting them there. That is exactly where they did it, is Western New Mexico in the desert of Western New Mexico. Pretty tough place to live. So New York, you would think they would be best at having the most assholes, but this says having the highest salaries. So because this says, thankfully, those salaries reflect the fact that you have to pay at least $1,300 per month to live in a 10-foot by 12-foot studio in a, quote, up-and-coming neighborhood. Ashton, when I was at Tech, that we had a 3-bedroom house. It was not by any stretch new or very nice, but it was $750 a month for the three of us, for me and my 2 roommates. And this is a 10-foot. This is the size of my bedroom in that house. And they're paying $1,300 a month. Now, I don't know how the inflation's done in Lubbock since 2000, 2001, but I'm sure it's gone up a little bit.
Yeah, I would say so. Did you had to split like the $750 between the 3 of you guys, or that was per person?
No, we split that. So it was like 200 and something a man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was over there off of Frankfurt, north of 4th Street, and it was in just a regular old neighborhood. And yeah, it said like $750 a month. It was cheap.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
I was going to college. I had 5 roommates, 6 of us, and we had each of us, our rent was $250 a piece, but our electric bill divided by 6 was $250 a piece as well. So it was an amazing thing. There's a closet upstairs that if you want to know what the temperature was outside or what the weather was like, just go in that closet. If it was 10 degrees outside, it was 10 degrees in that closet. If it snowed in the closet. And, so it was great.
Your electrical bill was $250 a man.
Yeah,
it was all electrical heat then.
Yeah, everything. I mean, and it was they turned the attic into bedrooms so that there was no insulation in the ceiling whatsoever. So it was you couldn't keep it cool.
Yeah,
so it was or hot for that matter.
Or hot, yeah. Of course, you probably didn't get just terrible. Well, no, I guess y'all were there when you get hot, but that's a great story there. So okay, now we're in the Carolina here. We got North Carolina. They're the biggest producer of sweet potatoes. I don't really see anything there. North Dakota. Now I don't know who wants to go into this one. Casey, do you want to take
what she said?
Or,
yeah.
You would think they would have a hard time. You think they would have a hard time measuring?
Talk about a cold closet.
You would think they would have a hard time measuring genitalia of the male sort in North Dakota, seeing as how it doesn't get above freezing but 1 week in July. But apparently North Dakota is known for their big penises there. I know Casey tried to preempt this with saying he's never been to North Dakota, and now we know that he hasn't. But I don't know what kind of survey. Did they go to like a high school and then like just asked all the guys in like gym class if they had big Johnsons or not. I mean,
Yeah.
you know that's a really scientific survey.
It's like a 10-inch Coke can, just so in case you're wondering.
It's like a cheese wheel. So, Ashton, do you have any comment on this one?
The only thing that I'll say is I feel like there's about 7 people that actually live in North Dakota, or it's North Dakota.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't, I feel like their calculations, it just has to be off because not too many guys I feel like live there in the first place.
Oh yeah, the sample size isn't quite big enough, you would say.
They should
Exactly.
They should change their state motto to "No, it's not Laundry Day."
Oh man, so now Ohio, they're a little more sophisticated apparently than North Dakota, but they have the most library visits. Did I just say library? They have the most library visits per capita. This would be impressive if it was still 1987.
Yeah.
They must not have the internet there. So
Yeah. I know this article's a couple years old, but it's not 20 years old.
Do they also have the most blockbusters still?
They have the most blockbusters and MySpace accounts still active.
Wait, which state are we on? Or did you say Oregon?
Ohio.
Okay.
Yes. Ohio. So they've got the most library visits per capita. Oklahoma's got the most man-made lakes. Okay, that's cool. Oregon, they have the... Go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
Oregon has the most craft breweries per capita. So you've got... Oregon also has the most pretentious assholes that walk around this country. But Pennsylvania, ironically enough, has the most revenue for casinos. Do what, Landon?
I'd rather go to a library than a craft brewery.
I'd rather go there than North
I'm
Dakota.
really looking for something that has that finish of a hazelnut with that aftertaste of a bourbon barrel mix and
It's oaky. It's really oaky.
that strong finish.
Here, and I don't know if I've talked about this. Okay, alcohol's fine and everything, but why does my A1 have to have a whiskey flavor to it? Because they make like steak sauce with like whiskey flavor. Who likes that? Ashton, do you like that kind of stuff? I mean, now my wife makes awesome beer bread. Now that is awesome. But whiskey flavored food, huh?
I could do without whiskey to begin with.
Yeah. Now, so when we were up in Durango, they had this beehive honey tourist trap thing that we went to, and they had the honey alcohols. They had honey vodka, honey whiskey. Joanna bought 2 or 3 bottles of this honey wine or whatever, and I don't know really what that's all about, but I tried the vodka. They give you like little samples or whatever, and yeah, it tastes like vodka. Your chest, it's like feels like something hits you in the chest when you take a hit of the vodka, and I just don't really get where the honey comes into play. So I never really got into the whiskey flavored seasonings for your foods, but that's just
I like whiskey. It's so good.
I like whiskey with Coke, but that's about it. One of my friends made a whiskey sour the other night, and I had no idea this had egg whites in it.
Was he on his period or something?
Huh? No, he was coming off of it.
Okay, makes sense.
No. So you've probably never had a whiskey sour, Ashton.
No, I haven't. I'm like a vodka kind of girl.
Yeah, I'm a vodka kind of girl myself. I love to really feed my wife with a whole bunch of vodka. So it really just kind of gets the juices flowing. But no, I'm a vodka guy myself, and
I dig it. I love vodka.
Oh, I do too.
You talking like Tito's vodka, Ashton? Is that your favorite?
Yeah, it is actually.
My jam. Vodka Friday. Get some.
Okay. Well, we're going to get down the list here. If anybody we're getting probably long on our time here, but let's get down to some of the ones that count. So Texas, we have the most wind energy. Now, that's probably true. Tennessee, they've got the largest walleye ever caught. You think that's catfish hunt? No. What was the catfish in? Was that catfish hunter in Grumpy Old Men?
No, he was a baseball player. I want to see a picture of this bad boy. Oh, what do they call the name of the fish?
Yeah, isn't it Catfish Hunter? I know he was a baseball player, but
yeah, it may have been.
I think they called him Catfish Hunter. Utah's the most charitable. Vermont has the most frequent exercisers. Washington is the most bicycle-friendly state in the union. Let's see. West Virginia has the highest home ownership rate. Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard to own a porch that you live under.
A shanty.
But we saved the best for last. Now, we said earlier that you have to get to Idaho. Do you have to go through Wyoming? And Casey, if you ever go on a bender, or back in the days when you were single, you always went to Wyoming, didn't you? Because they have the lowest rate of the drip. Is syphilis the drip or the clap?
Get it?
Clap. Okay, I never can keep those two nomenclatures straight. So syphilis is the clap. So Al Capone died from the clap.
It feels like I'm pissing razors over here.
I can't. And I think it was neurosyphilis, wasn't it? So he went crazy. Not only did it burn when he peed, but he couldn't remember why he was peeing to begin with. It's like Joe Biden.
Same thing Henry VIII died from.
No kid. Well, yeah. Well, when you cut that many heads off, it's great. Oh man. Well, guys, we got to get out of here because I don't know. I don't even know if I've got that much data left on my computer to store away. But we're going to thank Casey. We're going to thank Ashton. We're going to thank Landon. And especially we're going to thank myself because I put this all together and stuttered through most of this thing. But I know we had, let's see, I'm going to go back to gallery view and see if everybody's still in it. Ashton, are you still there?
I am, yes.
That's great. Now, we've got everything to look forward to. Ashton, great to have you on here. Landon, So-So, Casey, go to Wyoming is what I'm saying. So, but until next time, guys, we're going to be back. Clickety-clack with a chick-chack and a tic-tac. So, until next time, guys, y'all stay safe, y'all stay happy, and we'll ask you, what side of the line are you on?
North side.
Ashton, why don't you go ahead and do one?
A little closing bit?
Yeah. They're all popping off their little cuties.
I was just saying.
Ashton, what side? Shut up, Ashton. What side of the line are you on?
You're gonna have to explain that one to me because I am not exactly sure how to answer it.
You just say anything that comes in here. It makes no sense.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna say south side, and hopefully the listeners might think I'm a little bit hard.
Peace. All right, guys. We'll ask you what side of the line are you on, and we're out.
The Dryline Farmer Podcast, well, it's not really brought to you by. It's a new segment we have. And here he is. It's brought to you by...
This is Tom Tensa, field reporter for the Dryline Farmer Podcast. Here I am.
The Dryline Farmer Podcast, all rights reserved 2020, a member of the Global Ag Network.